floor. Start to move on the floor. However you like. So when you watch Lloyd, don't look directly at him. Kind of look around him, so to speak, and see if you see the edges or the interruptions in his movement. Right? You're really looking for an interruption to the movement, right? So what Lloyd's doing is when one movement reaches an end, before it gets completely to the end, he already has another movement. Okay? Very much like walking, right? You walk, before you get to the person, you make the adjustments. You don't stop your movement, right? You see somebody, you make the adjustment before you get there, right? So you know where the floor is now, and you know the range of your movement. So you're trying not to get stuck on the floor, okay? It becomes great when the floor disappears. It's like you don't even feel it. It's just your movement, completely free on the floor. So check for the hiccups, or the little pauses in your movement, because that's attention, okay? So in most cases, what I see is usually up, stop, a little bit of pause in the movement, rather than just let the whole thing kind of disappear. So before the end, you're already thinking of the next move. So before the leg reaches here and stops, the leg comes, and right about here I start my arm, and it picks it up. And just before this elbow touches and stops, this one frees up. So it's like I'm already a little ahead of the movement, so I don't catch myself getting stuck on the ground, which is usually what happens. Like you're moving on like some sort of tacky paper. Okay? Want to do it? Let me see, and then we'll come back to what we just did. You have to work on this a lot. This is a lot of work. I work on it all the time. But you have to practice on different surfaces, which is important, right? Get kind of comfortable. So, right? So Brian's going to start to move on the ground. Right? He's going to be very aware of how he moves on the ground beside his partner. He'll start to move. So watch his movement closely, right? And then eventually Brian's going to start to move on his partner. And it should feel and look the same as the floor. See how it weighted a little bit? Don't worry, just like he's part of the floor, just move on him and forget about it. Just a different surface, and it changes some stuff. Now it's getting better. The person has to almost disappear a little bit. It's just the surface. It didn't go the way it was the same as the floor. A little bit different. He's training his nervous system to relax. So, try it.